welcome to the Midnight Oil blog. Today I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful flowers out of paper. They are super inexpensive and easy. They just take a little bit of time. So if you have the time, then this is a great project. I used them for baby shower decorations, but I've seen them even put in baby nurseries permanently. So there's lots of different ways that you can use these. These supplies that you'll need a pack of colored cardstock. So you can make these in any color you want. I chose pink because it was a girl baby shower and I love pink. So I chose pink and it comes with all different shades of pink. I really liked the lighter shades, so I don't think I used any of the darker. In fact, this one that I'm doing is one of the darker shades because it's what I had left. I think I made all of these with one pack and they were on sale for $3.33 at Michael's. And that's like typically the price they are. So it cost me about $4 to make all of these decorations. The other things you need are scissors, a pencil, and then like a marker. You'll see why in a little bit. So I went ahead and cut the paper in half. It started as an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it in half and I used that as my largest petal size. So I went ahead and just traced a petal. My favorite flower ended up being these ones with the 3 scallops on the top. But you can make any petal shape you want. I had a lot of fun kind of experimenting with different ones, but ultimately I really loved the 3 scallops on top. So there are a lot of blogs out there that will link a Etsy shop where you can purchase a template. You guys, you don't need a template. You can do this. Just trace a petal. I'm pretty sure my 4-year-old could trace the shape of a petal. So, so once you have the basic shape, you just kind of trace the base and again, do your 3 scallops at the top, make it about the size of the half sheet of paper. You are going to need 6 petals that size. Then for my next size petal, I just went ahead and made it like 1.5 inches smaller. And I just, again, freehand, just like that, 3 scallops at top. Then for my next size, I actually cut the paper in half again, so that it was this size, and I used the full size of the paper to make a petal. And the great thing about flowers is they're all different in nature. All the petals are different shapes and sizes, so it really does not need to be perfect. See, this one has a weird, like, smaller scallop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So then I continued on, and on this flower I'm going to show you, I actually made 6 layers of petals. That's excessive. I don't know why I did that. You can see right here I did 1, 2, 3. Here I also did 3. Here I did like 4. I don't know why I did 6, but whatever. I'm going to show you a really full flower, but you do not need to do 6 variances of size. You can do 3 even, or 4, and that would be fine. So I just kept making smaller and smaller petals until I had 6 different sizes and 6 petals of each size. So right here in front of me, I have my petals. These are my largest size, and I'm going to show you how to put the flower together using this largest size. The other thing you need to cut is a slit in the bottom, about 2 inches. You just cut that slit in the bottom. So once you have your petals cut, the first thing you'll do, I take a layer of 3, and I take my little marker, and I'm actually just going to use this to roll the petals so that the ends roll a little, so they look like a natural rose, how it rolls out from the center. So you just hold that down for a minute so you get a good roll. And then I take my other 3 and I'm going to do the same thing. All right. And like I said, I can do about 3 at a time. Save some time and not do it individually. Just layer 3 of them at a time and do it. Okay, so now you have your petals curled, and you're going to take your first petal, and with the curl facing away from you, curling away from you, you're going to overlap the little slit that you made. and I'm just gonna put a dot of hot glue and then overlap it. The further you overlap, the more upright your petal is going to be. So I just overlap it about 1/2 inch, and it doesn't matter what you choose to do, but just keep it consistent with all of your petals. So if you want a really upright standing flower, then overlap it a lot. If you want them to be more flat, like this one I made kind of more flat, I don't think I overlapped it as much. But again, like I said, just keep it kind of consistent as far as how much you overlap, and I'm just doing a little line of hot glue, overlapping, and I need to do this with all 6 petals. The #1 comment I got at this baby shower was they looked at the flowers and they said, "Oh, you must have a Cricut." And I said, "No, I don't. I just have scissors." And I would love a Cricut. And if you have a Cricut, you could probably do this a lot easier because you could save time on the cutting. But you do not need a special cutting tool for this project. You can use good old-fashioned scissors, and that's what I did. So all right, I have all of my slits, and see how doing that just gave it a little dimension. It just let the petals stand up a little bit. So once I have that, I'm going to take a dot of hot glue on one of the edges of the petal and attach 2 petals together. And you want to watch how much you overlap, kind of where the tops meet, because you want to keep that consistent, but you also don't want to do it too far apart or too close that you can't fit all 6 of your petals in. So that's the trickiest part of this whole thing, and I have had to take a few apart, which is easy. You just kind of peel the hot glue off and you can redo it. It's just not fun to have to redo anything. But, and there is a bit of a learning curve. Once you've done it once though, you'll be able to pick up on how to do it pretty easily. So again, I'm just going, and I can tell I did them a little bit too close because my last petal is not going to fit in there perfectly. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna look at my petals and see which one is furthest apart, which probably this one right here, and I'm just gonna gently pull off the hot glue and glue those back together so that they're closer, so that they're at a closer angle, so all my petals fit in nicely. Okay, so I did my hot glue and I'm gonna glue them together. Yep, just a little closer. And that will make room for my last petal, which I'm going to glue in. And then once you've glued your last petal, I bring the back to the front so that it's in a perfect spiral. So when you glue them all on top of each other, it ends up this last petal is on top and on top on both sides. I just pull the back because that just makes it sit nicer. And then I do one little dot of glue on that last petal, connecting it to the first petal, and there it is. There's my first layer of petals. So I already glued my other layers so that I would be ready to show you guys how to put them together. So you repeat these steps for all the layers. And like I said, I got crazy and I thought, let me do 6 layers of petals. You don't have to do that. You can do 3 or 4 and they'll be beautiful flowers. I'm not sure what got into me, but it's all good. So I just take and do a circle of hot glue in the center. And then I place the next layer and I kind of off-center it so that the 5 petals aren't right on top of each other. They're kind of layered. And you just do that for the rest of the layers. I already have these layers kind of put together. My center layer, oh yeah, this flower is crazy, but that is how it's done. My center layer on these little carnation looking flowers, I just did 2 small petals, glued them together kind of upright like that, and made that my center. I will link the tutorial for these centers, which are really fun and also very simple to make. I just really liked the petal end on these ones. So one hint I will give you, I tried many different ways to get these to stay on the wall. And the one way that finally worked was I found these, they're called glue dots at the Dollar Tree, and they worked. I tried ticky tack, I almost got so desperate that I almost like hot glued them to my wall. But I found glue dots, and they didn't damage my wall at all, and they stayed up for almost a week. The flowers, I had them up on my wall for almost a week. They stayed up. I don't know if you're doing long term, you may want to use like an actual tack and tack it into the wall, or maybe like a nail, I don't know. But anyway, for temporary party decorations, glue dots worked perfectly, and I will link my blog here. I have written instructions as well as pictures to this tutorial as well. Thank you so much for watching.